right, guys, welcome back to another Jerry Deals. Like I tell everybody, come on, make sure you guys hit that like button, like. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to tell a friend about deals. You want to save money on deals? Let's do it. So this is different. The one I'm doing today, just to let you guys know, I'm bringing a friend in. This is my homeboy, Jamie. We used to work together. We ain't gonna talk about the place where we used to work together because we ain't like the place that much. But anyways, something that me and him, we became close friends about because we started talking about traveling. He loved to travel and I like to travel. He likes to talk about deals about traveling. I like to talk about deals about traveling. So we're going to bring Jamie in. So I'm going to do this different segment here and there, guys. So you remember we did the Tesla video a couple of months back. I was talking to my homeboy Cleves. We were talking about financing a car, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm going to bring different people. We're not expert people, but guess what? We're expert in looking up stuff every day because clearly that's what we did at our last job. And we ain't going to talk about that job, okay? But anyways, I'm going to introduce my homeboy, Jamie. We're going to bring him in, and we're going to talk more about deals. So, Jamie, so the peoples, man.
What's going on? How's it going?
Pretty good, bro. So, Jamie, you and I, we worked together, I don't know for how long, 2-3 years now? I don't know.
I think, about 3 years.
About 3 years, right? So, a couple of things I found out about you. You love to travel, and I'm like, yo, I like to travel too. So, we started talking more and more. And you just had a list of apps on your phone. I remember just like how you go about looking for deals intrigued me, bro. And I'm not gonna lie, I use some of the stuff that you told me to find good deals when traveling. But before we get into the whole travel thing, man, bro, let's flex on the people real quick, bro. Tell the people where you been, bro, because you know you've been out there. And don't give me them little countries you've been to. Give me them the other countries where we know people like us don't go, man. Go. Come on.
Man, Croatia, Finland, England, Italy, just went to Curacao last month. Turks and Caicos pretty consecutively. So yeah, I mean, that's all I can really think off the top of my head, but it's been, I think like 13, 14. Yeah, man. So still trying to rack them up.
Hey, man, rack them up, bro. Rack them up. When I heard you went to Croatia, I was like, why? But hey, bro, it's a nice place to visit. And you told me you had a great time. So, and yeah. Turkey, I'm assuming you have a house right next to Drake's house, no? Isn't your house
that's what we're trying to get to right now. But right now, we stand in the hotel, so.
Hey, man, it happens, man. As much as you get the deal done, that's what happens. So, yeah. You traveling to these different places that you just mentioned, bro. Croatia, Finland, Croatia, or Curacao. I don't even know how to pronounce that. You know what I'm talking about, man. Hey, whatever it is, right? How do you go about looking for these deals if someone want to go travel? Like, what do you do first?
I mean, my first step really is just kind of pick a place that I haven't been to yet. So I really just kind of start off with maybe price. So I know that since I'm located in South Florida, it's easy for me to take a quick flight over to the Caribbean. But mostly I really enjoy going to Europe. So it really just depends on whatever place I feel like going and just kind of divulging, picking and choosing, playing around with different flights and different locations and how much the flights would cost. And then after I pick that location, then I'll start going from there.
Okay, nice. So is there a specific place you like? What website do you go to? Like you just Google the place and stuff like that? Like how do you start?
Yeah, so I mean, my biggest way to start, I'm a lover and advocate for Skyscanner. That was my first way before Google Flights had their version of Skyscanner to be able to find flights and deals and just first picking the airport that I fly from, which is again Miami or either Fort Lauderdale, and then I think they have an option that says pick anywhere. So I pick anywhere. I don't care where it is. And then as far as dates, instead of putting in specific dates, because I really don't care when the dates are, I'm going wherever I choose to go or whatever the cheapest deal is. And then it'll say choose month, and then I'll pick whole month and then cheapest month. So whatever the cheapest month is, I mean, it is what it is. I remember specifically going to Sweden for a week to visit a friend, and I did not plan it at all. I booked the trip a week before, and I got a deal for the flight for $430 round trip.
To Sweden?
To Sweden, yeah.
400 and what?
$430 round trip.
That's crazy. So what you're telling us this, like, so the best way to do it, start with Skyscanner, kind of open up the map to see where you want to go, but don't pick a specific date.
Yeah.
But give yourself, like, do the filter to say filter by the cheapest month, and be flexible, right?
Exactly. No, be super flexible. I feel like that's my easiest way. That's the way I've always traveled, is apart from going to Italy and Croatia, always pick dates where you feel like, all right, maybe I can be a little flexible, not just like a 1 or 2 days. No, be flexible for a few months. So mostly what I found is going to the Caribbean during the winter, or not during the winter, during the summer is usually the cheapest time compared to going in the winter when most people are trying to escape the cold weather.
Yeah. Because a lot of snowbirds going to come down, and those prices going to go up. Okay, cool. So imagine me that don't know nothing about travel, right? And I say I want to go, me and my family want to go travel to somewhere like in the islands, tropical, but I want to stay within a budget. I want to stay within a specific months. What do you tell someone like that?
I mean, for me, I don't travel in a budget. I just kind of book wherever, whenever I want to go, and I'll figure out the rest later. But for the most part, I mean, if you're really just kind of looking for maybe a friendly deal, I'll just kind of Google first whatever best locations for family to go either to Europe or Caribbean. And then I'll just start honestly playing around with dates, start playing around with flight prices, start playing around with hotel. I know people say stop booking with third-party companies like Expedia and Booking.com. Honestly, I love Expedia. I don't care. It's a personal preference for me. I know I could always get more points going directly. I really don't care. I'm going to use it directly for whichever.
Yeah.
Plus, plus I rack up points. So
correct. So talk a little bit about that, right? So because I hear a lot of people say, "Oh, I don't like to use these third-party sources," because when you're trying to return something, you have to go through them, the hotel information, the flight and stuff like that. But for you see it more as like a benefit.
Yeah, I mean, so I've obviously booked a few trips through Expedia where I've had to cancel and it canceled everything. But as my experience, I've gotten the credit back. So yeah, sometimes it sucks to have to go through them. But I mean, at the end of the day, why would I pay $900 for a hotel when I can pay $700, and that's immediately me saving money? Like I said, when it comes to third party and whatever, do whatever you feel is best for you. I personally like them. I really don't care. I'm here to enjoy myself and save money. I'm not going to pay more if I really don't have to.
Correct. So because I'm assuming if you go directly to the hotel website, go ahead and book your room, whatever, is going to cost you more money. But going through Expedia, you find that it is cheaper to go that way, right?
I mean, so when it comes to booking directly with hotels, I mean, of course, it's easier if you want to just book direct or just go with only Marriott's or only go with Hilton. But for me personally, I mean, again, hotels can either match the price or they could be more expensive. You go directly with a website. I personally like Expedia because I found them to be cheaper, but also at the same time, it gives me a much easier way to search through different hotels. Instead of just going only Hilton or only going to Marriott. I'm like, okay, well, there's 342 hotels I can search through on 5 pages. That's just easier for me. And if I choose to, then I'll type in the hotel name on the website or in Google, then actually go through the reviews. And so that's how I start narrowing down hotels after I pick them out on Expedia. Okay, let me Google them directly, see their reviews, their actual hotel website, and start picking from there.
Gotcha. So, like, I talk to a lot of people that's afraid of traveling abroad because they feel like it's expensive. They have to deal with currency exchange. It's like they feel like, man, it's better for me to just go visit, I don't know, Nebraska, Wyoming, Chicago, Detroit, which is, those places are nice. Don't get me wrong. I just went to Denver, Colorado a couple of months ago.
Oh, nice.
It was a cheap flight. It was, I took one of your books. I went. I know the cheapest price to go, and I just went there. It was fun. But, like, how can you help to change, or what tips do you have for someone that says, I don't like to do like international travel because I feel like it's a lot of money, so wasted time. Like, what do you tell someone like that?
But it doesn't have to be. And that's the misconception when it comes to traveling abroad. I mean, my first traveling abroad experience was me going on a study abroad trip for school. So mostly everything was paid for. And I highly don't recommend this, but my money for my trip did not come through until a week before. So I didn't book anything until a week before, and everyone had already booked their flights, like paying $1,500, $1,600, booked it 3-4 months out. I booked my flight literally a week before we left.
Mm-hmm.
6 days to be exact, and I got my flight for $900 round trip. So I mean,
that deal came through, huh?
yeah. So I mean, it doesn't have to be expensive. It's just a matter of, even if, let's say you live in, I don't know, North Carolina or something,
Mm-hmm.
just pick a location that's abroad that you feel that could be cheap if it's your first experience traveling abroad, and go somewhere where they speak English. So it's not such a culture shock. I mean, I went to Colombia, was it May of last year?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hotel was $250, and it was a nice Holiday Inn for the weekend. I went for 4 days. I mean, we spent no more than $150 for food, breakfast, lunch, and dinner for 4 days, eating nicely. Plus, I mean, the flight was $150 that we had booked a few months out. So it really doesn't have to be expensive. But I mean, if you're going to spend $1,000, $2,000 out in Vegas, you can go spend the exact same to travel abroad and enjoy yourself much more and get much of a broadened experience of life.
Okay. So for someone like I know a lot of people, like when they're thinking of traveling abroad, they want to just like go big or go home. Like they want to start like, if I'm in the US, let me go to China instead. Let me go to France instead. So do you recommend to like maybe start small, like somewhere? Colombia, like you said, South America, or like Caribbean islands?
No, definitely. I would recommend, if it's a huge culture shock for you, start somewhere that's small. Like my first experience was going to England, so I knew that they spoke English. Maybe go. My second abroad experience, never heard about it before, whatever. But again, it was study abroad, so I'm like, let me go to Croatia. Knew absolutely nothing about it. They didn't speak English, but I figured it out for 3 weeks. So I mean, you just don't be afraid of it. Just find somewhere small where you get your bearings a little bit. It's not such a huge, like I said, culture shock. And just kind of start going from there and see how you really enjoy being abroad. The culture may be different, but at least they still speak the language that we speak. So it's not such a huge shock.
All right. Well, you know what? We didn't prepare for this spot, but I'm gonna put you on a spot, bro.
Okay.
Let me give you a quick example, right? I'm gonna give you real numbers, and you tell me what can you do for this person.
Okay.
And like in a quick minute of the information that you know, right?
Okay.
I'm married. It's me and my wife, or it's me and my spouse. Okay, it's two of us that want to travel somewhere. We want to travel abroad. We don't care if it's the islands. We don't care if it's South America. We don't care if it's Europe. But we only have a budget between me and her, accommodation and flight, $1,500.
Okay.
What are you recommending for someone that tells you that?
Where are you flying out of?
All right, let's just say, I don't know, like, let's say I'm flying out of New York. Let's make it easy for you because I know New York is a big hub, right?
Okay.
So for $1,500 and I'm going to give you 3 months. So right now, in the month of September, I'm flexible for September, October, and November.
Okay.
And it could be 4 days. It could be 5 days. It could be 4 days or less. What do you have for the people, man?
I mean, so I got to ask more follow-up questions because I could just say whatever. But I mean, are you looking for winter? Are you looking for summer? Like, what are you looking to kind of get into wherever you go?
To be honest, I don't know. I just want somewhere just to explore. I'm hoping if it's a beach somewhere, a winter place, it doesn't matter. Like, I just need a place just to go, just to have fun for two people, accommodation, plus air flight. I'm not looking for first class. I'm just looking for regular air flight to get me there and pay for accommodation. The food, I could handle the food. Okay. And I'm living in New York, and this is my first time traveling abroad. Like, what do you have for me? Like, what?
Yes, I mean, honestly, if it's your first time traveling abroad on that budget, let's say if you're looking at winter, go to Europe, because mostly everyone in Europe, no one wants to travel during the winter, and that's the cheapest period of time. I found a flight to France in the winter around December, January, and it was like $400 round trip. I'm not exaggerating. And same thing with hotel, because this slow period, no one wants to be in the cold during the winter. everyone's going to travel someplace hot. So
But
again,
second though, right? I ain't going to France with, I'm out here with a big trench coat because
why not?
it's gonna be cheap. You think so? You think that's all right?
Bro, I just went to Canada in January just because the hotel was $1,200 and we got a 4-star hotel, huge bed, everything enjoyable. Like I don't care about the weather. I'll deal with the weather whenever I get there. But if it's a cheap deal, I froze my butt off for the weekend. But you know what? I enjoyed myself.
Hey man, that makes sense. So that makes sense. So what you're telling us to have a flexibility and also and your mindset, don't think a certain way, but also be flexible in your mindset about like, hey, if you're able to, a little bit cold's not gonna kill you. You'll be able to go outside and enjoy more things, and things are cheaper. It's okay to do travel to these spaces.
Bro, I was in Toronto. I froze my behind off in Niagara Falls for the day. But you know what?
You were in Niagara Falls though.
It snowed and all, but you know what? That was a comfortable 2-hour train ride. Now do it again, over and over again.
Hey man, I don't blame you. But I heard Canada is beautiful, like on the snow also.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, see, that's not bad. Okay, so what do you have for the people, man? For $1,500, what you got?
Again, like I said, if you want to do $1,500 round trip, let's say that's the entire total budget. For the winter, you're going to hit a few places. You're going to hit Europe, France, Spain, Italy. If you want to go to the Caribbean, which I don't recommend in the winter, so you're going to hit it in the summer, I'll recommend Turks and Caicos, probably Grenada, not Antigua, maybe Aruba. It's a nice little budget for the summer, but go in the later summer months like June or July. Don't go in May when everybody's, fresh out of school, want to be on vacation.
Yeah.
And then if you want to do South America, I always recommend Colombia. I went to Bogota and it was great, but they don't have a lot of English speakers. So probably hit more of Cartagena, however you say it.
Yeah.
Just to save yourself money. So really those two, few places. I would say Mexico, but right now there's a not travel ban, but travel advisory for Mexico and Jamaica. So wouldn't really recommend those two places until they're up right now, especially if you're a woman. So please be safe, especially in Jamaica. It's not safe right now. So hopefully, again, those will get fixed out. But those are definitely top places to recommend.
Okay, cool. So now my next thing to you is, right, so how do you pay for these trips? I mean, come on, Jamie. I know you ain't rich, or maybe you're just holding out on me, bro. You just need to tell me things because I don't know. So, like, imagine if I'm trying to go, as someone trying to travel, do you be like, yo, let me just put in a credit card? Like, what advice do you give to someone that's like, because a lot of people, I'm not gonna lie to you, still have the mentality is like, yo, I'm going on a trip. I'm going to start saving money, which is good. I'm not going to lie to you. It's a good mentality to have to save money. But for me personally, what I do, I kind of use a card that give me points back that I can use that system. So would you recommend the same, or what would you recommend?
So, honestly, it's another one of those things that's kind of subjective. I know, especially on social media, they're always saying, oh, get a credit card, get an Amex and blah, blah, build up points. I don't have access to that.
We don't either, bro.
So you know what I'm doing? I'm either doing when I first started traveling, especially when things are expensive, I started using Affirm, because Affirm you can use to Expedia and do payment plans. Or you can go with a friend, splits the cost.
Hey.
Or simple as that, which is my best one. I already put aside money anyway in my savings account every month. So you could either pull from that or just simply do how I do most of the time. I don't care. I'll get the money back at some point in time and just pick a place and go.
I don't think that's so much of a deal though.
No,
I don't care.
It's not a deal. That's why I book deals specifically, because I'll be doing stuff like that.
Oh, that's
so
funny.
like I said, just got back from Curacao not too long ago, maybe a month or two ago. Again, don't really recommend this, but I really needed a vacation.
I got you.
Booked the hotel and the flight week and a half out.
Wow.
But again, it was kind of one of those all-inclusive. So, if you really want to save money, spend a little bit more for your hotel, but book an all-inclusive, especially, like I said, if you're in Jamaica. It saves you so much money.
Too much money. Yeah, because if you have to go out, buy food, and do all that things. Okay.
Exactly.
All right. So
But be careful with all inclusive because it prevents you from wanting to go out and eat. So even though we were in Jamaica, like, yeah, or even in Canada, I'll go out and get all inclusive. That's fine. But also at the same time, I still want to go out and eat at actual restaurants to experience the culture. I don't want to just stay in the hotel.
Yeah, because like the food at the hotel, even though you at the island, but it's not the same as like getting it from a local restaurant. Yeah,
Exactly.
I think that also it's nice to adventure out and to kind of get to know the culture better. And you know what? To add a little bit of thing that I've been doing, I don't know if you know this also. PayPal is a big money saver for me also. So especially when I'm booking a flight, if they give me like the option to pay with PayPal and I have a PayPal account, you can actually have PayPal pay, like you could pay through PayPal through a credit line, and PayPal give you 6 months free to pay back. So if you're able to do that, you could book a ticket through it and you could have 6 months to pay it back. But you just have to be disciplined enough to do that. But I like what you recommend also. Take the time, start saving money now. Don't think about the trip coming up and start saving money money for it. But if you start saving money now, when the trip comes, you'll be able to have something.
Exactly.
Quickly, you mentioned some on the website. You mentioned Skyscanner, right? Is that one of Skyscanner? You're big in Expedia. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna throw the third one in the Priceline.
Okay.
We went to Denver. Like a friend told me about this. So he was like, put 4-star restaurant up and somewhere close to the city and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Heard it, and Priceline gave me a deal. And I said, I stay at this restaurant. I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but it was so good. It's called Catbird. It's a great restaurant. They had a lounge in the top. It was a nice restaurant, and going through Priceline was literally $100 cheaper.
Really?
Yeah, man. It was
surprising.
So another question, right? So like imagine if I'm in vacation, right? So I'll give my tip, but I want to hear from you and what you have to say about this.
Okay.
Imagine if I'm in vacation, I get there and I want to travel around. What's the best way to travel around? Like, what do you recommend?
Well, I mean, it all depends on where you go. But me personally, like, are you talking about renting a car or just taking Uber and stuff like that?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So that's my biggest thing when it comes to hotels. I don't want to be Ubering everywhere. So I'll pick a hotel that's either downtown or around whatever I want to see. So if need be, I can at least walk to at least one landmark or whatever I want to do. So it already saving me money. And if I want to go with stuff and go and see things outside of the city, I'll either do, most of the time, again, taking taxis and cabs. Again, it depends on where you go. So like Colombia, only take taxis. Turks and Caicos, we mostly walked everywhere. So we stayed in what's called Grace Bay, where all the restaurants and stuff is. So I just walk everywhere. So make it as easy as you can on yourself to walk, instead of having to Uber and, Lyft everywhere, because that adds up, which is taken away from your budget.
It does. Yo, you stole the word out of my mouth. Like, I kid you not. Like, I remember when I was younger, I remember we were traveling somewhere. So like, instead of staying like in a downtown area, on a cheap place, like way outside. So I found myself I forgot where we went. I found myself commuting back and forth to the city, bro. And I'm tired. Like, I am tired. I'm driving 30 minutes out to go to the hotel because it was cheap. I'm driving 30 minutes in because I want to do that. So save a little bit more money, but also you save money because you stay like the main area. Exactly. And the same thing we did when we went to Denver also. So we're in Denver, like the hotel was in walking distance to a lot of restaurants, a lot of places where people go. Yeah. We didn't Uber, but them little scooter things? Yeah,
the ones you can rent.
Yo, me and my wife, that's all we did. We were like, yo, you get one and I get one. And we're just riding around the whole thing. And it was so fun. It was a nice experience because I see Miami Beach, but I live in Miami. I'm not about to ride it. But when I used to live in Miami, I'm not about to ride those things anyway. So, but that was a great thing to do, man. So I think that's a great way to do it. So live in the city, live close to the downtown. Give yourself more space to book. We mentioned Skyscanner, Priceline, Expedia. You have another fourth or fifth one you want to throw in there?
Affirm if you're fine with using third party like Expedia and you want to do a payment plan, because they'll give you 3 month, 6 month, and 12 month plans.
So Affirm, okay, all right. Anything else you want to mention besides that?
I mean, those are my biggest ones. I know sometimes people will ask, how I plan trips and stuff like that. I'm a big planner.
Yeah.
So I honestly just throw everything out there, put whatever information I can, and I just run through everything on a Google Sheet or Google Doc and just outline everything. I'm very type A, so I can't travel and just like, oh well, let's do this. I can't do that. I need everything.
I gotta know what you're doing. So the funny thing about that, like actually a friend had called me and he was like, yo, can you help me? Because I'm trying to go somewhere. I'm not a big planner. What do you recommend for someone that's not a big planner that want to travel? And I kid you not, they're not going to sit there and open a Google Sheet and do what you do and what I do. Yeah. They're more like, all right, is $600 or I'm just going to show up. Like, what suggestion you have for someone like that? Because I don't know what to tell them.
Yeah, I mean, my biggest thing, if you're going to travel abroad and do that, stay somewhere, the hotel that has a concierge or, some place that can help you out, especially if you want to do a day of. But don't travel somewhere expecting, all right, well, I want to see the city and I want to book a tour and do it same day. Regardless, you still got to do some kind of planning.
So it's just they gotta stop being lazy and just do a little bit more planning. Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't have to be difficult, but if you at least, let's say you go down to concierge, but you're only there for 2 days, you can't expect to book a day tour for tomorrow. Like be serious.
Yeah, and I know. I don't know. So it takes a little bit of planning also. So like I know a lot of people think they're celebrities. They want to travel like celebrities, but like they don't just show up and things happen for them. So you just have to be able to do a little bit of planning ahead of time. So if we run down a list, so we mentioned the 5 sites or 4 sites. We're going to list them down below for your description, but also someone that's willing to travel. You said the person have to be flexible.
All right, 100%. But also at the same time, which we didn't touch on, travel in your budget. Don't sit there and get to the airport or booking your flight. Oh, I want to fly business class. I don't care. We all on the same flight going to the same place. If I got to sit in economy, what is it? Not economy plus, economy basic.
Yeah, economy basic.
Yeah. Pay for my check bag. I got TSA pre-check. I don't care. We all going to the same place. It's a 3-hour flight. Now, if you got like a long 22-hour flight, pay for business or first class if you can afford it, but travel in your budget.
Believe me, those people watching this video don't have the business money. I'm pretty sure they don't. They better stay within their budget. If you have
no, man, don't come out here talking about I don't fly economy. I don't care. As long as they see me, I don't care.
Bro, like I don't blame you at all, man. I don't blame you. So stay within your budget.
Yes.
Be flexible. And also make sure you look at different places that are giving you different deals. So don't be narrowed down to one place only just to be able to save deals. As far as like payment wise, we mentioned Affirm, we mentioned PayPal, we mentioned saving ahead of time prior to traveling is good. And don't do the last thing that Jamie do. I don't care mode. I'm just going to go. But if you feel like it, though, I'm not going to lie. Like, I understand what you're saying because sometimes I want to be in an I don't care mode because it's like you work, you have so much things going on for you. You just need a break just to chill for yourself. So sometimes you got to spend some money for the I don't care mode. But I think key thing that you mentioned in the I don't care mode, at the same time, you don't care, you're going to spend the money, but also trying to find a deal while you're trying to spend the I don't care money.
Yeah, I mean, and to be honest with you, let me refine it a little more besides just saying like I'm reckless, which I'm not. Yeah, it's just more so, well, I've had my eye on this place, or let me Google a few places that I might want to go to. Keep an eye on it and track it through like Google Flights or it's, let's say, specific dates. Okay. And just, if it happens to be a week or two and it just seems like it is, then book it. But I mean, for the most part, sometimes you just need a vacation and you don't want to wait 3 months. Correct. If that place is open in the Bahamas, let's say, is a $200 round trip flight and the hotel makes sense, just book it for this weekend or next weekend if you got the time. Hey,
I think that's the best way to do it, man. That that's a lot of tips, bro. So I appreciate it. That's a lot of things that people could talk about with. And I was always wanting to do this video with you. And there's more videos like this to come, just so I could talk to different people. So I know a realtor, I know different people, just to have a little conversation. So when I have these conversations, it's, it's the best way to do it also. So, and also I know traveling during this period of time might be hard, especially if you have a whole family you're bringing with you and stuff like that. So you want to make sure, you stay within your budget and stuff. So appreciate it, man. Appreciate you taking your time on your day. And I know you forgot to mention one place. I know you went to Dubai, bro. You were living up on Dubai. When I saw Dubai, I'm like, bro, I gotta go to Dubai.
Look, man. Most people think Dubai is a super expensive place, and it is if you got the money. But to get there, it's really not that bad. I think
that's crazy.
I went with my mom and I booked everything. I think for us, for a week and a half long, flight, hotel, food, and everything, I think I spent no more than $3,500, including shopping, the flight, the hotel, the travel activities, which I always use TripAdvisor for that. I mean, it doesn't have to be expensive. Just have an idea of where you want to go and get an idea and go from there.
Yeah, just a little bit planning save you a lot of money in your pocket. So, man, thanks again, bro.
No problem.
I'm glad we had this conversation, and hopefully, this helped you guys out a lot. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. Jamie got his YouTube thing coming on also. I'll make sure I'll tell you guys more about it. So thank you, and hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. And this is Jerry Dills, man. We out of here.
Great having you.
Appreciate it, bro. Take care, man.
You too. Bye-bye.